The NBA season, we've only got a couple games left until we get into the play-in and the postseason. So we figured now is the time to do our NBA awards, our official. Now, I want to preface this. I want to say this is not who we think is going to win the award. This is just if we had a vote, this is who we're voting for to win the award. And the other thing I want to preface with is when we get to all NBA teams, we are not going to adhere to the 65 game rule. So you're going to see Cade Cunningham and Luka and Anthony Edwards on our all NBA teams. If it's guys like Giannis and Steph, they can't make it. They barely played this season. We're only going to go with guys that just missed the mark because I think that might be happening. I think it would be ridiculous for it not to happen because why would Luka missing one less game not be all NBA first team? It's ridiculous. But we'll save that for when we get to it. So I basically ordered our awards here from least interesting to most interesting. And we're going to start off with Defensive Player of the Year because I think the winner is very clear. I'm going to start us off. And for the guys I'm going to shout out like candidates, as you see right here, if they're on another all-NBA team or all-defensive team, I'm not going to talk about why they're a candidate. I'm going to go more in depth when we get to the actual teams. So Defensive Player of the Year, I have a couple candidates. I've got Chet Holmgren, Scotty Barnes, and Rudy Gobert, but obviously the winner is Victor Wembanyama. Surprise. He's the best two-way player in the league, averaging, like 4 blocks a game, something crazy like that.
Yeah, he's actually having a down year in blocks. His rookie year, I think he averaged 3.6. Last year was 3.8. I think he's barely averaging over 3 a game this year, but 3 a game in general is still crazy, no matter if it's
only 3 a game.
Yeah. Who cares if it's 3.2 or 3.6 or 3.8? It's still 3 blocks a game.
Yeah, Wemby is the clear pick. Who do you pick for Defensive Player of the Year? Crazy question.
Wemby. It's Wemby, and still it's the exact same shout-outs. Like, there is nothing I would change there at all. I mean, yeah, Scotty Barnes had a really great defensive season, but, dude, Wemby is just far and away the best defender in the world.
All right, our next one is – what?
No, I was trying to – well, I was gonna say, like, even though Wemby, like, people kind of criticize Wemby for like not being the best perimeter defender, like one-on-one defender. Look at the NBA now; players are more skilled than ever before. We have worse one-on-one defense now just because of the skill gap in offense than ever. Like, I would rather take the worst perimeter defender with the best rim protection than take someone who's slightly above average at both.
People are criticizing Wemby's perimeter defense, and these are the same people that gave Rudy Gobert 4 Defensive Player of the Years. Get out of here.
Exactly.
All right, our next award, this is very not interesting, and it has never been interesting to me, is the Clutch Player of the Year. We're kind of just going to speed past this. I picked Shea. He's been really good in the clutch. And now Anthony Edwards is ineligible. I forgot to mention that when you picked Anthony Edwards to win the award. Since you kind of used that same logic since you had Luka for MVP.
Yeah.
But, hey, screw it. We'll still give it to Ant for you. Shout out to Ant.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw. I don't know how much like the percentages have changed since I last saw the statistic, but like halfway, like at the All-Star break, dude, he was shooting like 60 and 60 from like the field and from 3 during like clutch moments in the games. It was some crazy efficiency number.
Yeah, I think back to I don't know why this is the game that sticks out, but that game against the Clippers when he hit a couple big shots in the fourth quarter. He had a crazy performance in the clutch there, and the Timberwolves came back from a big deficit, I think. That was a good game. Our next award is the most improved player, and I might have a little bit of a controversial opinion on this. The first guy that I want to shout out is Deni Avdija. Deni Avdija blossomed into an all-star this year in a heightened role with the Blazers. He had a great season. The next guy I want to shout out is Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson was literally in the running last year, and you could kind of see from a mile away that he was going to have an all-star type year, especially ever since they traded Trae Young. But I kind of expected Jalen Johnson to have a season like this. I didn't like fully expect it to be this good, but it wasn't a crazy reality to me. The last guy I have for most improved, and this is going to piss a lot of people off, is Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That's my last shout out. He's the favorite to win it, but you're asking me if I had to vote for it. Nickeil, I always saw this coming for him. And it might be crazy. I'm not LeBron. I'm not lying. I saw it ever since he was with the Pelicans. And I didn't think, again, it was going to be this good, but I figured he'd be a very, very serviceable role player. Maybe not like the second or third leading scorer like he is now. But for me, most improved, If you told me that Jalen Duren was going to be an all-star this year, I would not have believed you. This man, and I even think about recently, all the time that Cade Cunningham has missed, the Pistons are still holding on to that 1 seed pretty handedly. And they've won big games against really good teams with Jalen Duren leading the charge. And I know it's on the Pistons role players and all them. They played out of their minds. But Jalen Duren I was not expecting this big of a breakout from him. So he's my pick to win Most Improved.
Man, I see. I like your. I think I have all the exact same like shout outs and like all that kind of stuff as you do. Yeah, big shout out to Denny Avdia. He's really improved, specifically his passing this year. Had a way bigger role, just playing a good part. Again, shout out Jalen Johnson. But like you said, everyone kind of knew he'd be good. Just didn't think it'd be this good. But we are actually flipped because I think I'm gonna shout out Jalen Duren and give the award to Nikhil Alexander-Walker. And I know, like you said, like you don't want to give it to him because you've already kind of seen it coming. To me, that doesn't matter. To me, it's kind of about impact because if you take someone who already's averaged like 13 and 12 for the past 2 seasons, if they improve to whatever he's at now, yeah, he's improved. But a person who went from averaging not even 9, who's now averaging close to, if not already over 20, that's a bigger improvement. It's not most impactful improvement, it's most improved. And Nikhil is far and away the most improved player in the league.
I like that logic. I like that a lot. It's close. It was very close for me, but I would have never thought Duren was going to be sniffing an all-star game this year.
Hey, if you remember, I told you literally 2 years ago, watch out for Jalen Duren.
I mean, I knew he would be a problem, but not this big of a problem. But shout out to both of them, man. It's a good race between these two. I could see it go either way. Well, Nikhil's probably going to win it. But again, you're asking me who I'm picking. I'm picking Duren. But Nikhil, I've been a big fan since he got drafted with us. And to see him doing what he's doing now, along with the other 15 Pelicans players on the Hawks, breaks my heart, but it's also cool to see. Our next award is going to be NBA Sixth Man of the Year. I got a couple guys I want to shout out. First up is AJ Mitchell. He's had a phenomenal year for the Thunder, stepping up when Shea was out, doing his thing, and playing his role perfectly off the bench. Next guy, I probably should have saved him for last because he's right up there for the favorite. Jaime Jaquez. He's doing great things with the Heat. I've got Reed Shepherd with Houston. He had to step up big time with Freddie going down. And he's done a great job. Big part of why they're as good as they are. And, of course, Naz Reid. How can you not shout out Naz Reid? Because he's Naz Reid. But my winner is Keldon Johnson. He is one of the 3 or 4 biggest parts of why the Spurs are as good as they are. Just impact on both ends of the floor, scoring, defense. He's the total package off the bench, and he totally deserves this award. Who do you got?
All right, for my honorable mention shout outs, I am also going to shout out Jaime Jaquez. After his rookie season, like last season, I didn't pay attention to him because he didn't fall off, but he seemed to take on kind of a smaller role.
He kind of did.
Yeah, he fell off a little bit, but he took on like a smaller role. I just didn't really think about him because let's be honest, everyone from Wemby's draft class besides Wemby is kind of forgettable to a point. Besides like Amin Thompson and like a few others. Like when was the last time one of y'all thought of Scoot Henderson? It's probably been a few months. But yeah, I'm going with Keldon Johnson. I mean, he has been everything the Spurs have needed off their bench this season, and you cannot ask for a better mix of scoring and defense and honestly leadership. He's been there quite a bit when you look at the rest of the roster. So yeah,
he might be the longest tenured guy on that team.
I think he is, and he's so young. And not to mention, this man made a USA basketball team.
Yeah.
Dude, Keldon Johnson, no one gives this man his flowers. He'll never be a team star player. He'll never be a team's second best player. Hell, he will never be a team's third best player. But by God, will he be the best bench player that you can hopefully get your hands on? And that's all.
Plays his role perfectly.
Exactly.
All right, our next one is Coach of the Year, and strap in your seatbelts. I've got a lot of candidates for this one because this race really is wide open. I'm not going to go super in depth with all of them. Just going to give you a brief summary of why I have him here. I think I have like 6 candidates.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The first one I have is Jordan Ott, Phoenix Suns. I didn't think the Suns were going to be this good. He's done a great job developing a lot of guys. especially guys that peaked later on, like Dylan Brooks and Colin Gillespie, and Jalen Green has done great with the Suns, and of course Devin Booker. You can't not talk about Devin Booker, but this isn't about Devin Booker. This is about Jordan Knott. He's done a great job this season. Next one, Charles Lee, Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets have been so much fun to watch, and all they needed was a good coach, and they were one good coach away from actually being a play-in, playoff team, and now they got it. And I think they're going to make a sneaky little run in the playoffs. Probably not win a series, but maybe steal 2 games from a team. Next is Eric Spoelstra. Again, it's crazy that he's never won Coach of the Year, what he's doing with the Heat. What he's doing with guys that on another team may not even crack the rotation. When we talk about player development, Eric Spoelstra is the top of that list. Mitch Johnson, next up. He's a lot of people's winners. He's done a great job with the Spurs. The only reason why I probably don't have him up there is because maybe the benefit of the doubt of maybe any coach could do this, but that's just not true. He walked in, took over for arguably the greatest coach of all time in Greg Popovich with a generational type of talent in Wemby, and he made the Spurs way better than anybody probably thought they would be. 60 wins. Did you really think the Spurs were going to win 60 games this year? No, you didn't. And the last name I got here is the actual favorite to win the award, JB Bickerstaff, Detroit Pistons. Detroit, we didn't think they'd be the 1 seed. We kind of thought that was either going to be New York or Cleveland. JB Bickerstaff's done a great job. The Pistons play extremely hard. And that's one thing about teams coached by JB Bickerstaff. They're going to play hard as hell. My winner, oh, wait, no. I have one more. Ty Lue. The Clippers started the season 6-21. Ty Lue went on a press conference and said, we're going to go 35-20 the rest of the season. And I believe they're 35-18 since he said that.
Yeah,
he can still coach his ass off. And a team that made so many moves at the deadline, traded James Harden for Darius Garland. They brought in like Benedict Mathurin, traded Zubats, and they're still about to be probably the 8th seed. Ty Lue, man, give him his flowers. He deserves it. There's a reason why he's a championship coach. There's a reason why Braun wanted him to coach Cleveland. But my winner is Joe Mazzulla. The Celtics, this was supposed to be a gap year for the Celtics. Jason Tatum was out the whole season. But Joe Mazzulla, there's one thing he's going to do. He's always going to have a great defense, and he's always going to develop some talents. Hugo Gonzalez being a great role player for them. Nemez Keita being a great role player for them. And Jaylen Brown is cusp top 5 MVP talks. Would have never thought that. The Celtics are, I believe, the 2 seed right now. Unbelievable season. Joe Mazzulla, he probably doesn't want this award. I think he's literally been on record saying it's a stupid award. But damn it, he deserves it. My pick is Joe Mazzulla. Who you got?
Let me tell you something about Charles Lee real quick. This man has brought relevancy to Charlotte for the first time since, a long time. It's been a hot minute, man. And he has accomplished something with this team that hasn't only been accomplished by one other duo in NBA history, and that duo is LaMelo and Concanipple. Now, the most threes that made in the league this season belongs to currently LaMelo Ball. I think he sits at 268. Number 2 in the league is Concanipple, 261. The top 1 and 2 shooters in terms of threes made are both on the exact same team. The only other duo to do that, to have 250 threes each in the same season, is Steph and Clay.
Yeah, I'm about to say, let me guess.
If you're telling now, obviously this Hornets team is no Warriors team of the past with Steph and Clay. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that you're able to take a team that has been so consistently horrible for the past decade and make them relevant in a play-in team with adding 3 rookies is unbelievable. However, it does not matter. Coach of the Year is Mitch Johnson. I mean, the fastest rebuild I've ever seen.
Yeah, really.
They made the playoffs every year in Tim Duncan's career, and they were still kind of okay for a few years later. They really weren't bad until 2019, 2020. It has been 3 years since Wembanyama was drafted. When Wemby was drafted, that team was looked at as arguably one of the worst teams in NBA history. 3 years later, it's a 60-win team.
Crazy.
It's all because of Wemby and Stephon Castle and the veteran leadership of De'Aaron Fox and the added youngness and guard depth of Dylan Harper. I mean,
and Keldon. Don't forget Keldon.
Yeah, and Keldon Johnson, obviously. But like, I don't see how you can see a team transform this fast with this young a talent, with this little experience, and be this dominant without being the best coach in the league. So I gotta give it to Mitch Johnson.
I respect that. I can get behind that. All right. Now, this is probably the closest award that we have here. Rookie of the Year. I went back and forth on this so many times over the past like month or so. But
You have
ultimately, this is where I landed. Nipple number 2, Cooper Flag number 1. And I explained it to you the other day, and now I'm going to explain it to you again and explain it to the people. If this was the most valuable rookie, Nipple wins it every day. Because he, as a rookie, completely changed, along with Charles Lee, completely changed the Hornets. As a rookie, already broke their franchise 3-point record in a season from Kemba, who's on the coaching staff, which is cool that he got to see that. Drastically improved them as a team. But Rookie of the Year, I'm going to continue to say it. Rookie of the Year is an individual award. I don't care about what you do as a team. Rookie of the Year. Who's the best rookie? Not who's the best rookie that had the best impact. And I know I used that logic for Jalen Duren for the other award. I don't care. This is the most individual award you can get. Who's the best player from the draft class? That's what we need to be answering. And Cooper Flag checks that box. The last month or two that Cooper Flag just had cemented him to me as a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent. This man, oh my God, he's so good.
Yeah, dude, I want to point out.
He leads the Mavs in every single stat. That man right there leads the Mavs in points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. Are you kidding me? We've never seen that.
Not to mention
he's the best.
He's not even. By the way, he's not even the only. It's not like oh, he joins an elite company this season. No, he is the company. He's the only person leading their team in all the stats
ever.
Not to mention, I think before the All-Star break, he was only averaging only 18.7, and he's at like 21 now. He's legit averaged like 24 points a game almost ever since the All-Star break has ended.
And he's had multiple 40-point games. He had a 50-point game. This guy is unbelievable.
First teenager ever to get 50. Dude.
Mavs fans, you lost Luka, but it could be much, much, much worse.
Yeah.
Y'all are lucky to have Cooper Flag. And surprised. Yeah. Who's your pick, Mace?
I don't know why you say like it's obvious. I have my own little debate on this. On one hand, everything Cooper is doing, he's better than Khan in every statistical category, but Khan is way more efficient. Cooper has a lot more highlight plays, and I would say impact on the fan base than Khan does. But Cooper's the first option. Khan's the third, or arguably the second, and he's still putting up these ridiculous numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Khan shooting 43% from three. But Cooper is the first teenager ever to score 50, and he's like the second teenager or rookie ever to have back-to-back 40-point games. But after close and careful consideration, ladies and gentlemen, we splitting this bitch. We giving it to both of them. We going back to the days of Grant Hill in 1995. We splitting this award. I think this is the greatest rookie of the year race we've seen since LaMelo and
Trey and Luka.
Well, yeah.
Trey and Luka a couple years ago. Not a couple. But it's almost been like half a decade.
Yeah, I agree. But dude, these two are not only are they so good, they're so well loved. Everyone loves these guys. Everyone loves these guys. I haven't seen a single person say a bad thing about Con Knipple, and the only bad things I've ever heard about Cooper Flag is just his inefficiency from three. Which that says nothing about his character. Everyone loves these two. The fan bases love him. The coaches love him. They've all gotten high praise from
that man stared down Kawhi.
Exactly. Hell, they played each other earlier in the season, and I think Coop had 49 and Khan had 38. These two rookies made themselves the attraction.
Not to mention they both went to Duke.
Yeah, exactly.
They're friends
at the same time. So I know people are gonna say, "Oh, Khan's efficiency. Oh, Cooper's stats." I'm telling you right now, Khan and Coop are splitting this award, and y'all better be happy about it because I think that is the only way you can satisfy both sides.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main event is here, and you better be fucking watching it.
Yes. Wow. Co-rookie of the year. I can get behind that. I wouldn't be mad at all. I wouldn't be mad if that happened at all. All right. Now, speaking of the main event, let's get to the main event when it comes to the awards. The MVP, the most valuable player. I'm going to start us off here. I got a couple guys I want to shout out. First up, Wemby. Wemby, I don't think he's the MVP. He asked very nicely to receive the award, and people seem to think that he's going to win it. I just don't think. If I was voting, he probably gets my fourth place vote. Whoa, so controversial. I don't care. I'm still voting Luka over him. I don't care that he missed the mark. Wemby,
game, who cares?
the two-way impact, unbelievable. And Wemby, I mean, we've never seen anything like him before. And the Spurs are really, 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 really good. And it's mostly because of him. So there's your case right there for Wemby. I mentioned Luka. The scoring rampage that he just got done being on before the injury, he averaged like 40 for the entire month of March. Wow. That's like, we haven't seen that since like James Harden.
Yeah, and it's
From
not
his
just
MVP
40
case years.
It's not just 40. It was like 47 and 7.
Yeah, almost a triple double. Crazy. And then now it comes down to these last two guys. And Shea, the advanced stats are always going to be ridiculous. The efficiency and the consistency is always going to be ridiculous. He's not average. He scored 20 points for basically 2 straight seasons when you count all the games he's played. That's unheard of. It's literally never happened until him. So, I mean, and the Thunder are the best team in the league. So be it. But most valuable player, what does that mean to me? 2 things. Who's the best player in the world? And none of these 3 guys are the best player in the world. And who's the most valuable to their team? We've seen the what was going on when all 3 of these guys missed time. All 4 of these guys that I have up here missed time. When Wemby missed time, the Spurs were still good. Luka is missing time right now. The Lakers suck, but Austin Reeves is also missing time at the same time.
And LeBron.
When Shea was out, the Thunder were still top of the league. Nikola Jokic, when he was out, the Denver Nuggets were legitimately the worst offensive team of all time. And that's not an opinion. That's not just me watching and observing it. It's a fact. They were terrible. Even with Jamal Murray in the lineup, they were awful offensively. The worst offensive rating in a single season was, I think, 92 point something, 92.5, something like that. The Nuggets without Jokic this season were an 86. That's horrible. Jokic is leading the league in rebounds. He's leading the league in assists. He's averaging 30. Talk about his defense all you want. I don't care. He still gets steals. He does enough defensively. This man is the MVP. You can't convince me otherwise. He's the best player in the world. And we need to appreciate this. Because what he's doing, we've never seen it before. We'll never see it again. He's going to shatter Westbrook's triple-double record. He's going to shatter it. He's going to break it next season. And he's still got a good, well, we don't know how much longer Jokic is going to play.
Minimum 3 years.
Minimum 3 to 4 years left. Appreciate what Jokic is doing. He probably should have won every MVP for the past 6 years, if we're being honest with each other. This man is one of the greatest of all time, and he should be the MVP this season. If I had the vote, my vote's going to Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, and I can't be mad at logic at all. I mean, dude, there's only been 3 players in NBA history to ever average a triple-double for a full season. Oscar Robertson, who did it once in 61-62. Westbrook, who did it 4 years from 16-17, 17-18, 18-19, and 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jokic last year, and he's going to do it again. So I can get behind that. But yeah, first of all, I'm going to shout out Luka Doncic. He's 1 game short. If I am the Lakers, the first thing what I would do, even though it wouldn't mean he's going to win the award, he's 1 game short. I'm making him dress up for 1 more game just for the jump ball, and I'm calling him out to get him his.
You have to play 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, well, never mind then. Okay, I guess I'm not doing that. Sorry, Luka. But still, shout out Luka, man. I mean, last season, I think he should have won it. No, not last season. The season
2 years
before.
ago. I agree.
Yeah.
He should have won it.
2 years
His
ago, he did
last
it
year with
once.
the Mavs.
Yeah, 34, 9, and 9, and he didn't get it. I was so mad. I was pissed beyond belief. I remember I was outside grilling steaks with my grandpa, and the results came in, and I saw Luca came like third in
I
the voting.
remember
I was
I
livid.
remember exactly. I remember exactly what I was saying about that MVP race, and you might remember this too. It was like during basketball practice or whatever. I said Luca should win it. They're gonna give it to Shea. It was Luca should win it. I think they're gonna give it to Shea, but it's gonna be Jokic. I think that was my logic, and I
Yeah,
was right. I was right about Jokic being the MVP.
yeah,
Anyway,
and then also
continue.
shout out Cade Cunningham. He had a great end of the season. Even a full season, he was great. Really helped Detroit kind of turn things around. He was making a late MVP push when it looked like the other people weren't going to qualify for the games. Because at that point, people were considering if Shea was going to come back in time, if Shea was going to hit the game requirement. People were wondering if Luka was going to hit it, which he ended up not. People were wondering if Wemby was going to be able to hit it, which he still has to play one more game for at least 20 minutes to get there to get any award eligibility to begin with. So for a while, for like a week and a half, there was a solid question about, oh my God, is Cade Cunningham going to be the MVP? Because everyone was getting injured.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's not the case, but he still had a spectacular season. So shout out. Uh, Honestly, even though I wouldn't vote for him in any universe, shout out Jalen Brown. That man single
Yes.
handedly led the Celtics to where they are without Jason Tatum. Again, shout out Jokic because he is one of the greatest players we've ever seen. Perhaps the best in terms of skills. I don't care what anyone says. If you like
I
offensively,
can't argue that.
this may be the greatest player of all time.
Oh no. Screw maybe. He is the best ever.
Yeah, and then lastly, shout out Wemby. I mean, defense is more important than I think any aspect in basketball. You can't win if you're not. How do I say this? If you're playing a game and the other team can't score, you just win. You got to score
Right.
once.
Yeah.
This man is averaging 3 blocks a game in his third year. He's at 3 years in a row averaging three plus blocks a game. He's been healthy a lot of the season. His efficiency is doing a lot better this season. He's getting more rebounds. He's just overall becoming a better player. And I would even dare
Oh my
say
God. I'm
what?
sorry. I have to interrupt you. Embiid has been diagnosed with appendicitis and is going to undergo surgery in Houston tonight.
Oh, was he like meant to play tonight before this?
I don't know. But dude, Embiid cannot catch a break, bro.
Dude, no, he cannot.
Wow. Dude, the Sixers were about to be on a crazy run. Maybe Bono is going to lead them to a championship.
Yeah, really.
Damn, dude, that sucks. I hope all goes well with Embiid, man. That's terrible news to get right now.
I know.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Hey, real quick, you want to say this, dude? Embiid is the AD of Zion's. I swear to God.
Not really. Embiid, let's not forget he was MVP.
Yeah, but bully ball play style that can shoot threes, but doesn't really ever do it.
Embiid
That's
shoots
basically
way
just
more threes
Zion
than Freaky
souped up.
Z.
But yeah. But either way, Wemby, I would go as far as saying Wemby might be the greatest 22-year-old of all time.
Oh, 100%.
But I think I got to go Shea. I know it's a little bit biased. I'm a Thunder fan, and even I can see that there is a little bit of bias in this. But one thing that matters to me a lot in this conversation is team chemistry. And I don't think if you plug in any of the other players that are up for this award that they would make this team any better than Shea has. He just fits this team's coaching style and energy so well that when the entire team plays as one, it's nearly impossible to get a run going on them.
Yes.
And even if you're like, oh, the numbers go in Jokic's favor, yeah, but dude, you can't be mad at 32, 6-5. Like, it's just either way, this man's either winning it or he's coming second. And I have the faith that he's gonna win the award.
Yeah, man. I gained a lot of respect for Shea. I think people give him a lot of
A lot of hate.
flack for all the flopping and the theatrics, and I can get behind that, but I mean, you take all that away. I think the other night he literally shot one free throw.
Yeah.
And he still had 20 points on really good percentages.
Yeah,
and the way that he impacts the game. Not to mention his defense. We haven't talked about his defense at all. Man's a
yes.
lockdown defender.
Yeah. Now, is he an All NBA defender for us? We'll find out when we get to our next segment. But even if you don't think he is, or you think he is, regardless, that man is a great defender. He has great size. He has great instinct. He doesn't make like any mistakes. I think he literally broke Wilt Chamberlain's record for most consecutive 20-point
Yeah,
games.
he did.
And dude, that's its own thing. To break anything that Wilt Chamberlain accomplished is crazy in it by
Right.
itself. That man is literally folklore. It's like you can't tell me that a man who can break a record from a guy who's meant to be, they was like unbreakable record guy in the world, while leading this team to having the one seed, while already having one MVP, doesn't deserve a second one.
I can get behind that. All right. Now we're gonna go to our all NBA teams, all rookie, all defensive, all NBA. Again, to preface, we're not adhering to the 65 game rule. You're gonna see guys that aren't gonna make it on the actual teams on our teams. We're gonna start off with all rookie. Now, here's my all rookie first team. Obviously, the top two, Cooper Flag Conkanipple. The third one, VJ Edgecombe. VJ, we already talked at length about both of those guys. Let me talk about VJ real quick. VJ was my favorite prospect coming into the draft, and is he not disappointed. His scoring immediately, as soon as he stepped onto the court, having 35, the highest scoring rookie game of the modern era. But he has single-handedly helped the Sixers turn from one of the worst teams to one of the better teams in the East. I think they might. Well, originally I thought they were going to have a sneaky playoff run, but now with this Embiid news, I don't know. Maybe they won't even make the playoffs. Maybe they won't even survive the play-in. I wouldn't bet on that, but who knows? Anything can happen in that East play-in. But VJ has been absolutely fantastic this season. Now, these last two slots on the all-rookie first team, I went back and forth on it a couple times, but here's where I landed. I went Cedric Coward. He's been extremely consistent with the Grizzlies, scoring, efficiency, all that good stuff. I'm going to say this phrase a lot when we talk about this rookie team. One of the few bright spots on the Grizzlies. And the last player I went with for all rookie first team, this, like Mace said, he talked about bias, talked about Shea with the MVP. This is 100% biased. I originally had Dylan Harper, but after this last month, I had to go Jeremiah Fears. Jeremiah Fears this last month has really come into his own. The scoring rampage he went on the other night against the Jazz, he had a fantastic game against the Knicks. He had 28 points, I think, multiple times across games. And again, it's an individual thing. It's not about the teams. You're going to see players on bad teams here. That's just how it goes. And Jeremiah Fears as an individual, there's a lot of things you want to see him clean up. Fast break layups. There's a whole compilation of him missing fast break layups. But that's going to develop. The playmaking, the defense, the shooting has really come together over this last month. And this is the guy that's going to be the Pelicans' next star. And I'm really excited to see what he has in the future. But based off this season, I got to put him in this top five. All rookie first team for Mace is.
All right, so obviously we're gonna get Coop and Con out the way. I mean, don't got to think about it. Same with Edgecombe. Don't even got to think about it. But when it comes to these last two, I also went back and forth, but I think it's pretty clear that Cedric Coward deserves a spot. Even if he hasn't had the greatest back half of the season, he still has been one of the most impactful rookies for any team. And he has shown that just because his age doesn't mean that this man won't be a problem in the league. And he's been.
And it's crazy. It's crazy. Portland could have had him, man. They traded Young Hansen. They traded him for Young Hansen.
They sure did.
Oh, man.
Spoiler alert, Young is not on this first or second,
no, he's not.
Or even the fifth team.
Yeah, but, if that existed.
But for my last spot, I thought about this, and I'm going to go Derek Queen. Because for me, I love it. I know a lot of people are going to go Derek Queen, the guy who didn't average like double digits in like any stat, or at least the last time I checked, he wasn't at least. Yeah. Now, people are going to say, oh, bad defense. He's not even the best rookie on his team. And you can say that. But part of this for me is also potential. And people say, oh, that's stupid. Potential doesn't win you awards. It doesn't even make you like be considered for awards. Kind of does. I mean, look at Wemby. Wemby is not at his full potential, and he literally just acts nicely, and he's getting MVP votes for it. People are literally Wemby legit could win MVP based off of his potential. So if someone can literally be deemed the best player in the league based off potential, I can vote for a guy to be the fifth best rookie because of his potential.
I like that logic right there. All right. My all rookie second team. I had a couple guys that had to snub just because of how talented this draft class is. So I'm gonna shout out a few of them. A few of them won't even be able to be eligible, but I still want to shout them out. Guys like Ryan Nemhard and Dylan Cardwell deserve a shout. Also, Neat Clifford, Colin Murray Boyles, Yegor Demon, and Nolan Trayor. He also deserves a shout, and Will Richard as well.
Good.
I'm trying to think anybody else
You're not
that
gonna
I
say
left
like
off here.
you're not gonna say like Will Riley. Isn't he a
Oh,
rookie?
Will Riley too. He was another guy on my mind there. But ultimately, for my all rookie second team, I went the aforementioned Dylan Harper. I went with his Rutgers teammate Ace Bailey. I went with Derek Queen. I went with Trey Johnson and Maxime Reynaud. Dylan Harper is a big reason why the Spurs are as good as they are. Just his role, he's played it tremendously well. Ace Bailey started off a little rocky, but you can see the scoring upside. His playmaking is solid, and I don't know. He's been again one of the few bright spots of the Jazz. Derek Queen. The reason I probably would have had him first team maybe in like January, but the one gripe I have is consistency, and that's no fault of his own. James Borrego is so indecisive on how to play Derek Queen. One game he'll play 30 minutes like he did the other night against the Jazz and have a near triple-double, and the other night he'll play 8 minutes and score 3 points. So the consistency is not really on him. It's on the coaching staff. And I wish we could have gotten Michael Malone. Of course, now he's going to go coach UNC. But if Michael Malone had Derek Queen could legit be the next Jokic. Now I'm scared that the Pelicans are about to hire fucking Darvin Ham. So that's besides the point. Trey Johnson, straight up bucket. That's all I got to say about Trey Johnson. He's just a bucket. And he's so fun to watch.
And his range, insane.
Yes, he's so fun to watch. And Maxime Reynaud kind of came out of nowhere for me. I probably didn't even know who he was coming into the season, but he's been so impressive for the Kings. He straight up cooked my Pelicans a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week. I don't know. But in the last game they played against each other, man, he went crazy. And he's the Wemby stopper. He is indeed the Wemby stopper. He's the one guy that's kind of had Wemby's number, which is crazy. But yeah, he's been super impressive. I've came out of nowhere for me. I've loved watching him. So that's my all rookie second team. Who you got?
Now, obviously, because I didn't have him in the first team, I got to mention Jeremiah Fears. I mean, he probably would have made most people's first team. So, this man had a crazy last few months of the season. Everything's coming together. You can't be mad at it by any way. And I honestly would have put him first team, but when you have someone who can literally be Jokic, it's kind of hard to not be like,
right.
Let's see where this guy goes. Secondly, Dylan Harper. I mean, he's done his job perfectly in San Antonio, and he's done really, really well meshing with the other guards on a team. Third, I'm going to go with Cedric Coward because
you had him on first
not
team.
Cedric Coward. My brain fart. Sorry, Maxine Reynaud. I don't know why I got those two confused. Reynaud. Now I've known Reynaud before he got drafted, but it's only because I believe there was a semi-viral picture of the NBA world of him standing next to Wemby during like a workout. And Wemby just towered over him. People were like, "Oh, is Wemby like 7'7" now or 7'6"? He's huge." But no. After I saw that picture, I thought, "Dang, this guy's kind of tall. Well, I've never heard of this dude in the draft process." I kind of looked him up, saw some of his highlights, thought he can be pretty good, and he did a lot better than I thought he would. Then I'm going to go Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey has had a kind of up and down season. At the beginning of it, he kind of sucked. In the middle of it, he got a lot better. Then he kind of went down a little bit again. But now he's pretty consistently doing the same thing, having the same stat lines, filling his role pretty well. And if he can kind of work on his consistency, work on some of his decision making, he can be a really good player in this league. And then lastly, I'm kind of torn. I really want to say Ryan Kalkbrenner, and I really want to say Colin Murray Boyles. I think I'm going to give the edge to Murray Boyles. I don't quite remember who I put up there. I think it was Murray Boyles, but either way, they both deserve it. Both of them played amazing defense for their teams, came in, did their thing. But I think I'm going to give the slight edge to Colin Murray Boyles. I mean, one of the very few defensive bright spots on the Raptors. Not to mention, he's only like 6'7", 235, 240 pounds, and he plays the five sometimes, and he holds his own
Yeah.
really, really well. So I gotta give it to him. But yeah, shout out Ryan Kalkbrenner. Average, like led all rookies in blocks, had a great season.
All right. All defensive. Speaking of defense, let's get our all defensive team out the way. Obviously, talked at length about Wemby. He's obviously number one on this list. Chet Holmgren, he does a lot of the same things that Wemby does, just not as like sexy. But man, Chet Holmgren when it comes to defensive impact, he's probably number 2 in the league right now. Scotty Barnes gets it done in every single aspect of defense. And he is the big reason why the Raptors are one of the top defenses in the league. Already talked about Rudy. Rudy's always going to be up here just for his rim protection. And I went back and forth on the last spot a lot, but I ended up going Derek White. Isn't he like top 5 in blocks, total blocks this year? Something crazy like that?
Honestly, I have no idea, but all I know is that he is far and away the best defensive guard in the league.
Yes. Yeah, that's the bottom line. He's 6'3", doing everything on defense. And he, to me, probably kind of an all-star snub. He was outstanding and still is outstanding this season. He's a big part of why Boston's about to make a crazy run in the playoffs. And, man, he's just so fun to watch. He never stops going on defense. I love a player like that. He just doesn't stop. You know how Curry on offense is always moving around, always making it tough for the defense? That's how Derek White plays defense. He plays defense like Steph Curry moves off the ball. So I just love watching Derek White. You're all defensive first team. I think it's pretty similar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is literally the exact same players.
Yep.
It is Wemby, Rudy, Chet, Derek, and Scotty Barnier.
Scotty or Barney.
I know.
All right.
But yeah, it's pretty obvious. I don't know. I just think it's pretty obvious that those are the 5. Even if you don't think that that's the first team, if you think like, oh, maybe move one of those down to the second team, move somebody up, whether you like it or not, those are probably the 5 most impactful defenders in the league.
All right. Second team, I've got Amen Thompson and his brother, Asar. They both play very similar roles on their teams, except Amen is asked to do a little bit more on offense, and whether he can do it or not, that's up for debate. But they both play a very similar role on their teams, and they're both, if you want to call the Rockets contenders, I mean, I wouldn't really bat an eye, but the Pistons are definitely a contender. And these two guys are big reasons why their teams are as good as they are. They both are super athletes. They both can guard 1 through 5, and perimeter wise, doesn't get much better than them in the business. Next guy I got is Evan Mobley, the reigning DPOY. Let's be honest, he really only won the DPOY because Wemby wasn't playing. But he's still one of the best defenders in the league, just not quite at the same level as he was last year. Next guy I got is Mr. 83, Bam Adebayo, Wilt Bam Kobe. There's one thing, you can question his 83-point game all you want, but you can't question his defensive impact. He's 6'9", can guard guards, can guard wings, and can guard bigs. Not much that he can't do on the defensive end. He's been really consistent there this season. And the last guy I've got is Cason Wallace, one of the best perimeter defenders in the business and one of the best guys OKC has on both ends of the floor. I know we're talking defense, but he's probably my favorite player on the Thunder. Just everything he can do, everything he brings is so much fun to watch. He's almost like Derek White light. I love watching Cason Wallace play defense. But yeah, who's your all defensive second team?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's the
I'll
exact
pull
same
everybody
team
up.
again. I think it's.
Oh no,
I think it's,
nope.
Okay. Yeah. Obviously, I picked Asar Thompson. He's played a great defense. He's a great perimeter defender, great athlete, and he's very hard to score on. Bam Adebayo, people sleep on his defense. I feel like no one talks about how good Bam's defense is, even though
Because
every year.
everybody wants to talk about the 83 now.
Well, yeah, even before that though, people never really thought.
Yeah.
People were like, oh, Bam, great defender. No one ever thinks, oh, Bam, he could win DPOY if he has a really, really, really good season one year.
I
Which
think he was up there for
he
DPOY a
was.
couple years ago.
He was. Then I'm gonna go Casey Wallace as well. Thunder fan, even if there's no bias to that one. Casey Wallace is just one of the
Yeah.
best small guard defenders in the world. And then I want Evan Mobley because even though yeah, Mr. 18-8, like it or
AT&T.
not, he's still one of the best defensive anchors in that entire conference and even the entire league. But lastly, I didn't go with Amin Thompson. I really, really wanted to. I love Amin Thompson, if you don't know. But
Yes, he does.
I went with Stephon Castle. His defense has rapidly improved this season. It was already good to begin with, but he just took a big leap defensively. He's holding his matchups to less points and worse field goal percentage. He's getting more steals. He feels like he's a bit better in the interior, and the way he switches is amazing. That
Yes.
man, he never misses a switch. So I gotta go with
Seamless.
Stephon Castle.
Dude, I have been so impressed with Stephon Castle.
Yeah,
I probably
and
would have never thought he won Rookie of the Year last year. If going into last season, probably would have never thought he was going to win Rookie of the Year. I probably had, I think thinking back, I had Reed Shepard winning it before the season even started. But he's been so impressive. I love watching him play.
Yeah, I think I had Sar winning it last year, which I don't even, if I'm being honest, I hate to clown on last year's draft class. I don't even remember who won it last year.
It was I just said it was Stephon Castle.
Oh, you're right. I don't know why. It's literally all my teams who won it.
All right. Now let's get to the main event. Oh,
Hold on.
go ahead.
I do want to give one shout out, and I can't believe I'm saying this because of the performance he led up to one of the people on the list, and it's Alex Sarr. I know people could go really good to go Alex Sarr. He let Bam score 83. I don't know if I realize he is second in the league in blocks per game as a sophomore.
Yes. He does deserve a shout.
I understand that man literally did allowed possibly
He did the
highest
unthinkable.
game. He literally, first of all, Bam Adebayo didn't even average 20 points before this.
His points per game went up 2 whole points.
I know. And what I'm going to think about is I like the idea of the Wilt Chamberlain deniers have to now accept the fact that Bam Adebayo is the highest.
He 100% did that shit. Wilt did that shit, bro.
I know. If Bam could do it, Wilt definitely did it. But
he turned me because Wilt took like 60 shots. So like now I went back and actually looked at that stat sheet the other day of Wilt's game. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, this shit happened. Now that I've witnessed it with my own 2 eyes,
this should happen.
That happened. All right, but now let's get to the moment everybody's been waiting for. All NBA teams, and here's my All NBA first team. It's all the guys I mentioned for MVP: Shea, Jokic, Luka, Wemby. Again, not adhering to the 65-game rule. The last spot is up for grabs. I think there's 3 guys that I considered. Kawhi Leonard is a guy I considered. I mean, who would have thought he would have another prime year this year? He's been insane. Jaylen Brown, of course, mentioned. Still underrated in a way, but he's been the Celtics' best player far and away. But I landed on Cade Cunningham. Cade has been the sole reason, maybe not the sole reason, but I would say like 90% of the reason why the Pistons are as good as they are. The scoring, the playmaking, he's got it all. And he took a jump that I didn't necessarily think he was going to take. So, yeah, he belongs in that All-NBA first team for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think our teams are pretty similar. I think we only have one difference in ours. I have Shea, I have Luka, I have Wemby, I have all those players, but I think I also put Cade Cunningham. I think I put Cade Cunningham here.
You didn't?
I didn't. Okay, that was Jaylen Brown. Yeah, Jaylen Brown. I couldn't remember which one of those two. Those two, I thought about those a lot. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that Wemby, Jokic, Shea, our first team. Now, people probably would put somebody else first team over Luka because of the minimum games requirement. He missed one game that he did. I don't care. I didn't give him the MVP because of the game because that's a huge individual award. This is a team thing, so I feel like it's a bit different. And Jalen Brown has just been the anchor for the Celtics this season. Like not defensively, but he's a good defender. But like he's the whole reason that they got where they are. Like you said earlier,
Absolutely.
this is meant to be a gap year, and he still took them to one of the best
The
teams in
two
the league.
seed. Yeah.
Yeah,
And probably the favorite. Yeah, they are the favorite right now out east to make it to the finals. And that's all on his back. Second team. Here is where I landed. Obviously, Jalen Brown. He was the guy in the toss up to make it on first team. Thought about doing it, but Cade, just what he did this season, I can't ignore that. But Jalen Brown, literally, probably any other year would be first team All NBA. Just this MVP race and that top five is so tight right now that Jalen Brown suffers the most from that. That he's just outside that. Kawhi, unbelievable season for Kawhi. I already talked about it already. The scoring rampage, the defense is always going to be something with Kawhi, and the Clippers turnaround is all on his back, along with Ty Lue and Darius Garland and all those role players there. Again, started the season 6-21. Ty Lue went out and said, "We're going to go 35-20 the rest of the season," and they're on pace to do that. Anthony Edwards, this is another guy that's not going to meet the game requirement, but you can't say All NBA in 2026 and not have him. He's always going to put up the numbers scoring wise, always going to have the entertainment value. I know that doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things, but does it really not mean anything? The NBA
I
is
think
a business after all.
I think it holds some weight.
I went Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell, man, so fun to watch. Everything he does, scoring wise, shooting the ball, driving, playmaking, he's got it all in his game. And the last spot I went with, this was kind of a toss up. Threw KD's name in there a little bit, Jalen Brunson, but I went with Tyrese Maxey. Took a big jump scoring wise. Came into the role of actually being the number one guy in Philly. They fully embraced that Tyrese Maxey is our best player, and he has proven that. And the partnership, I'll call it that. The partnership that he's formed with VJ, it seems like they're going to be moving in the direction of these two being the backbone of the franchise. Embiid, shoot, I wouldn't be surprised if he even retires after this. Like the constant injuries, they want to move forward to the future. And Embiid, look, man, I'm not going to tell him what to do. I'm not a genius of all this, but he already sort of took a step back. But man, it's just getting rough to watch. I feel so bad for him. But that's neither here nor there with this. Tyrese Maxey is an absolute stud, and he's on my second team.
Yeah. Now, I did kind of leave Cade off my first team. I just thought Jalen Brown's played so good. So first, I'm going to go with Cade Cunningham. Absolutely deserves it. I'm going to go with Kawhi. That man is averaging, I think, the most points for a season ever in his career, like 28 a game. I'm going to go Ant, even though he missed the game's requirement. Was playing like I wouldn't say out of his mind, but he was doing his own thing over there in Minnesota, and he was doing it really, really well.
Ant doing Ant things.
Yeah, I believe. I'll be honest. I don't know. Yeah, from now on, you're gonna have to like show the rest of the team. So I don't remember who I said. I said D Mitch because people ignore how good D Mitch is. People don't give him his flowers enough. Like, he averages 28, 6-6, or like 5-5, or something like that, on one of the best teams in the league, and no one ever talks about it. And then I did leave out Maxi in favor of Jalen Brunson. Very, very tough decision. I just think that the Knicks' overall record kind of propels him above Maxi a little bit, only by a little bit. But the stats aren't all that different. They're both scoring a lot of points, and they both have good assist numbers. The only difference is that one has a little bit better defense and one has a little bit better record. So I'm going to go with Brunson.
The interesting thing with All NBA this year is that guys that we would 100% see just missed the mark, like Devin Booker
Yeah,
and Giannis and Steph. LeBron wouldn't have been All NBA, but that's a guy we've seen on All NBA literally every single year since 2005.
yeah.
So this made it interesting. We're going to see a lot of first timers here. So this is where I went with 13. Kevin Durant. He's still KD. When we talk about longevity, everybody wants to talk about LeBron. A lot of people talk about Steph, but KD, just when you talk about a timeless basketball player, it's KD. The way he can fit in with any team he goes to, just because of his scoring, his efficiency, all that. A team like Houston, who offensively has probably three guys, if we're being honest, that really have a very positive offensive impact with him, Shimgoon, and Reed Shepard. Like Amen Thompson is not going to give you crazy scoring nights, 82 games a year. This man will, even at his age. KD's efficiency has not dropped off. His scoring maybe dropped off a little bit, but he's dealt with a lot of injuries. He's dealt with all kinds of stuff, and he's older now. But you can't tell. You really can't tell. Too much. The next guy I went was Jalen Brunson, of course. Jalen Brunson, big reason why the Knicks are as good as they are. The Knicks have been really inconsistent, but he's been the one consistent thing with them. Jalen Johnson's All-NBA. Jalen Johnson is an All-NBA player. Again, we talked about him already with the jump that he took, blossoming into the Hawks' #1 guy. Big reason as to why they went on that crazy win streak towards the end of the year. I went James Harden. James Harden played for 2 teams this season and had an equal but opposite impact on both teams, if that makes sense. He has catapulted the Cavs into contendership that they probably didn't have before they got him. And again, longevity. We talk about Bron, Steph, KD. James Harden is another timeless basketball player. He is the mold of kind of what is happening today with like Shea. There is no Shea without a James Harden. Like James Harden pioneered that style of basketball, just the playmaking and the scoring all together as one. And with the Clippers, he was there, and I don't want to say he was a big reason why they were bad, because I honestly just don't know. But just what he did to propel the Cavaliers into where they are now as the second favorite in the East right now, I can't ignore that. The last guy I went with here for third team All-NBA, I threw around a couple names. But this man made his first. I threw around Chet Holmgren. That's one guy that I very heavily considered. Jalen Duren as well. But I went with Jamal Murray. Made his first All-Star game this season, long overdue. He deserves to be. Excuse me. He deserves to be in this position. His clutch performances, his scoring, he brings it all. And yeah, Jamal Murray's impact can't be ignored. He belongs on my All-NBA third team. And I'll pull up everyone for you real quick. There you go.
Yeah. So first, I want to start off with putting first over anybody Tyrese Maxey here because people think that he should be second team. I have him on my third team just because I think Brunson's a little bit more impactful to his team. So I got to start off with him. Also, I do have Kevin Durant and Jamal Murray and Jalen Johnson. All three of those guys are playing great basketball. Jalen Johnson took a huge leap into an All NBA player. People would have thought him as an All Star. I don't think anyone would have guessed All NBA. Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. I mean, he'll average 20 points a game to the day he dies.
You know who he is.
Exactly. Jamal Murray, like you just said, first All Star game, long overdue, and he really took I wouldn't say he took a leap this year, but he took a little step up this year and it shows. But I actually put in Jalen Duren, and I know the whole reason I said I wouldn't take him for most improved is because he was already a good player, and his improvement wasn't that much more impactful than Nikhil Alexander Walker's. But thank goodness the level of leap you take doesn't matter in All NBA. This man is the defensive anchor for this Pistons team, one of the big reasons why they are the 1 seed. And I don't even know what he's averaging this year, but he's averaging, he's averaging, I think, 12 rebounds a game. Either way, it's some crazy numbers, and he's crazy efficient from the field. Yeah, he'll never be like a stretch big, but dude, this man is playing
Yeah.
at an All NBA level this year.
This year he's averaging 20, 11, and 2 assists with 65% from the field.
Yeah, and probably close to 2 blocks too.
Blocks. 0.9. I would have thought it'd be more.
0.9, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's weird then. But either way, that's a big man in the paint. He's gonna secure
But
the
blocks
rebounds.
don't really matter here when you talk about just his is
Yeah,
interior defensive impact, it's
yeah,
up there.
yeah. That's a big body that'll give you all the boards you need, and you'll get all the dunks that you need in the paint. And he's a guy you can just kind of rely on night in, night out. Even if he doesn't score for you, he'll get his boards.
And he's still
So he's
averaging 20.
exactly. But like if he has an off game where he only has like 6 points, he'll still have his like 13 rebounds.
Yeah,
And like he'll still do Jalen Duran rebounding things. And I think that is one of the most important things in this is consistency. And that man is consistent on the boards every night. And everyone knows if you can control the boards, you can win games.
absolutely. One thing that came to me really late that I forgot to mention for most improved, I want to shout out Ryan Rollins. That totally
Real.
slipped my mind. He's been so good this year. But yeah, I don't know why that slipped my mind. But yeah, that's everything. That's our awards and our all NBA teams.